Movies. In 2023, I saw some movies. Some of them were good, some of them were eh. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the movies that I love. Before I do that, though, I do have some honorable mentions, such as Talk to Me, Knock at the Cabin, The Machine, Theater Camp, Dream Scenario, 1001, Killers of the Flower Moon, Bottoms, Air, and No Hard Feelings. These movies were pretty good, but it just couldn't make the top 10, but you know what you're here for. Let's get right into it. Here are the top 10 best movies of 2023. I knew absolutely nothing about the true story being told here, but learning it through the film was very emotional and it helped with the powerful performances of the entire cast. The Iron Claw was an emotional surprise that I'm so happy I got to watch before the year ended. Fun in the most messed up ways, Sanctuary is a consistent and hilarious blast with two leads who exude so much charisma and chemistry. Margaret Qualley and Christopher Abbott are phenomenal without being too silly or over the top, even when it could feel that way on paper. Sanctuary was able to be so entertaining and fresh while mostly being contained in one setting, and I appreciated it very much. I walked into this film expecting a run-of-the-mill, cheesy family film, but walked away with a wonderful film about girlhood, the curiosity of growing up, the anxiety of being a young girl, and the doubts of religion. I love that the film is able to express Margaret's emotions without having to put her through cruel experiences. The film understands that her problems are valid even if they may seem small in the future. Abby Ryder-Fortson gives a fantastic performance, but the surprise performance of the film was Rachel McAdams, who I feel is being overlooked for some award nominations. This film all around was surprising and charming and needs to be talked about more. Who would have thought that a film about Barbie could be both hilarious and an emotionally resonant film about self-worth and being human? Well, most people probably didn't see it coming, but I had high hopes when I found out Greta Gerwig was the one to helm this film, and she comes through yet again with fantastic direction. Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling are incredible, with Gosling giving another hilarious performance to add to his filmography. The criticism that this film was anti-man was absolutely absurd when it's literally about both men and women realizing their worth while also shining a necessary light on the struggles of women and society's standards of women. This film was expected to be enjoyable, but I'm so happy it was able to accomplish so much more than that. This film worked so well as a fantastic courtroom drama, but what impressed me most is how the film will leave you begging for the answers the entire runtime, but you ultimately find out that the answer isn't important. Anatomy of a Fall is about troubled characters, and not everything leads to a huge cinematic reveal. The film can be very aggressive and tense with the incredibly written dialogue and the Oscar-worthy performances of the entire cast. I'm so impressed with this movie the more I think about it, and I can't wait to watch it again. I had no idea what I was getting into with this film, but it leaves you with so many feelings and thoughts as we look through the scope of repressed trauma. May December is complex and subdued, and it's all because of the brilliant direction by Todd Haynes when it comes to exploring this controversial relationship. Natalie Portman, Julianne Moore, and Charles Melton are all so deserving of awards recognition. The film can be very uncomfortable at times, but it's done in a way that's necessary to get this story told. I remember going to see Into the Spider-Verse and thinking I was going to be given a bland experience of a film and left not only surprised, but blown away, and that same feeling is felt while watching this movie. Across the Spider-Verse is all the things that make Spider-Man movies great without trying to be exactly like its predecessors. The animation somehow is a far step beyond the first one, and might honestly be one of the best looking animated movies I've ever seen. It's compelling, exhilarating, and everything a Spider-Man movie should be. This film will leave you holding your breath in utter amazement from the incredible filmmaking to the amazing titular performance from Cillian Murphy. But honestly, what makes this film so special to me is how the people responded to it. Barbenheimer might have been a fun meme for movies, but it got eyes on this film, and people who probably would have never watched the movie not only got to see it, but found it extremely compelling. This could be Christopher Nolan's shot at winning an Oscar, and he really deserves it. Oppenheimer might be one of his most mature films in terms of filmmaking and overall themes. The cast aside from Murphy were also spectacular, especially with Emily Blunt being a fantastic supporting actress. Obviously I don't want this, but we may never see this much success for a movie like Oppenheimer again, but just being able to see it happen for a movie this incredible was truly special as a movie fan. One of the most impressive things a movie can be is confident, and when everyone on board is confident in what they are making, it makes it more of a memorable experience. Past Lives is exactly that. It can be quiet, but that's really where the confidence shines. It doesn't need scenes where characters say exactly how they feel because it's shown through incredibly subdued performances and brilliant direction. It's hard to believe this film is Celine Song's directorial debut because this film feels like it came from someone that's been making movies for years. I love that you don't root for one character over the other or what path you want these characters to take. You just sit back and accept the story for what it is, and I find such beauty in that. Past Lives is a film that really leaves an impression on you whether you felt these feelings personally or not. I don't think I've ever seen anything like Poor Things before from both a narrative and filmmaking perspective. This movie is hilarious, uncomfortable, and super weird while being wholly unique. Emma Stone has been amazing in many films, but this just might be her best performance to date with how deep she goes into the mind of Bella Baxter. Also have to give huge praise to Mark Ruffalo, Willem Dafoe, and Rami Youssef for being truly incredible alongside the powerhouse that is Stone. The production behind this film is nothing short of flawless. Every square inch of each setting in this film is breathtaking. The score so perfectly captures the absolute craziness of the film and is easily one of the best of the year. It was incredibly hard to choose between this and Past Lives as my number one of the year, and while I think I'll be watching Past Lives more than this movie is just too incredible to not make it my number one. And there it is, another year of movies, another top 10 list. I'm really hoping to be making more videos in the future, and I'm just excited to see what movies 2024 has to offer. And if you're watching, leave a comment saying what your favorite movie was. Tell me if my list was great. Tell me if my list sucked. Tell me if I suck. I don't care. I'm just rambling now. All right, later, everybody.